watching all of this unfold. Let's discuss what's going on with CNN senior political analyst Ron Brownstein, along with Scott Jennings, former special assistant to President George W. Bush and CNN senior political commentator. Ron, it's not every day that you see a Republican governor locked in a protracted fight with his state's largest employer, right?
Right. Look, I mean, this is really emblematic of the way Ron DeSantis appears to have decided to run for president. The video, God made a fighter. I will fight every fight that Donald Trump does, but I will not bring all the baggage that he has. I am Trumpism without Trump. And that is his pitch to Republican voters. There is an audience for it in the Republican Party. But you have to ask yourself, is he kind of losing sight of the bigger picture here? I understand you can't worry about a general election unless you win the primary. But 6-week abortion ban, permitless carry, widespread book bans, classroom censorship, and now a death match with Mickey Mouse does not seem like the ideal recipe or menu to recapture the suburban white-collar voters who have moved away from the Republican Party and produced 3 disappointing results for the GOP in the last 3 elections.
Yeah, and Scott, why hasn't DeSantis simply declared victory against Disney and moved on from this?
Well, he is exhibiting a new, more muscular form of republicanism that gets comfortable with using government power to go after institutions that they think are a danger to American culture. In this case, that's what they feel about Disney. So he believes picking this fight with a major corporation that Republicans are growing uncomfortable with for a variety of reasons is a good way to display that muscular, Republican conservatism. And I disagree with Ron briefly on one issue. Yes, he wants to show he's a fighter. It's not that he's Trump without the baggage. It's that he'll fight and also win. I think that's the contrast he's drawing, is that I'm going to pursue these things until we actually win them, as opposed to just pursue them until I get distracted by something else.
Ron, Donald Trump released his first TV campaign ad today, first TV campaign ad of the 2024 cycle. Watch and listen to this.
DeSantis was saved by the endorsement of President Trump. Trump's support was so powerful. Just 2 days after the endorsement, DeSantis took a commanding lead, and it propelled him to being elected governor.
I'd like to thank our president for standing by me when it wasn't necessarily the smart thing to do.
You're welcome, Ron.
I couldn't help but notice that rather than touting his policies or his record, Trump's slamming DeSantis for perceived disloyalty.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think Trump recognizes that he has a base in the Republican Party that is basically satisfied with how he performed as president, and that the risk is that DeSantis can make an argument that, as Scott said, he can do it better, or simply that he can win, and Trump can't. The core challenge facing Republicans was very well encapsulated in the NPR PBS poll that Marist did for them this week. 63% of Republican voters, Wolf, said they wanted a second Trump term, even if he is found guilty of a crime. 3/4 of independents, 3/4 of Americans younger than 45, 3/4 of voters of color, and over 80% of whites with a college degree said they did not want a Trump presidency if he is convicted, a second Trump presidency if he's convicted of a crime. That is the dilemma in a single data point. The party wants to go one way, despite all the clear warning signs about what the country thinks about Trump returning to the Oval Office.
Very significant point. Scott.